Well, okay, I'm gonna start recording and then I'm gonna make you the host, okay, Alan?
All right.
Cool.
Wait, you're
And
recording?
yeah, I'll record.
Oh, okay.
And then you can like go to the slides and start sharing your screen. Or are you gonna be sharing your screen?
Yeah, I start out sharing my screen then.
Cool. All right, let me go to the bathroom real quick. You're the host now, so if you see anyone in the waiting room that's from Technicbots, just let them in.
All right.
All right. Has nobody else joined yet?
Nope.
All right,
It's all like just kids.
that's fine. We're just chilling.
All
We're just chilling. Okay. Let's pop up the robocode. I need to get all my stuff set up.
Wait, can you hear the sound when I play the video?
Play it. Are you playing it? Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I can
good.
hear it. I can hear it.
All right.
Wait, can you hear my little brother?
Yeah.
Uh, um. Okay. Oh my God.
Should we start letting them in?
Just wait till exactly 7. I think some other Technicbots members should have joined by now.
Oh, I don't
You can scroll
see
through.
any.
You can scroll through the waiting room.
I only see managed participants here.
You can like scroll with your mouse wheel through the waiting room to check the people.
I'm just gonna let them in now.
Byron is at my home with a robot. You want, not Byron, sorry, Chambers. You want him to spotlight his camera to see how that looks?
Sure.
I just need to
Oh, I think you need to start the video first before I can spell it. Oh, there's
Eden, where?
One of you muted.
Agency.
对，
Agency.
应该有他。
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's working.
Oh, can you see Chemper's screen?
Why am I unmuted?
Chamber, are you able to go closer if you want to some close up?
Wait, what?
Alan, can you stop sharing? Let's see if he can put this to, yeah, okay. Now this is big.
Okay. Let's see.
不要动了。Okay, I think that's good, Chambers.
hey, Byron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a Java file. So should I submit that right now for Robocode?
Do we have a phone that's not dead?
Is this? The form is already closed, so you have to wait until next week. to submit
Austin.
it.
Do we have a phone that's not dead?
Byron, it says Byron Lee is being admitted.
I don't know if any of the phones still have battery.
Um.
I don't know if any of the phones
Just
still have
another
battery.
Yeah, Alan, on security, on the security in the bottom right, you can just click on that and press disable waiting room, and it'll let everybody in automatically.
Anthony
All right.
left here, 74%. Probably okay. The other you don't know. It may not work because they are not the same SDK level.
Okay.
This is the one.
Try this
But you can drive with this. You know.
one. No, you have to plug it in.
Oh my God, you can't.
This one's 100%.
Where's the other one? Oh, at your desk. I'll try. So you didn't know you have to last demo. Right.
Well,
Yeah, how do I make this image smaller? Yeah, I want to make this image smaller. I know. But still looks like that.
Hey, if you're not presenting, can you please turn your mic off? And if you have questions, ask them in chat, please.
Talk's kind of sloppy. I want to ask Erica questions.
Okay, is everything ready? Okay, we're just gonna start now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alan. I don't know.
All right. Okay, so welcome to today's virtual robotics fun hour. My name is Ellen Sun, and I'll be your host. So remember that the virtual robotics fun hour is every Friday at 7 p.m. And there are 4 modules that we'll be teaching. And please remember to mute yourself when you're not talking and only use the Zoom chat to ask questions. So once again, we are participating in Folding at Home to find a cure for the coronavirus. If you want to join our team FlySet, you can go download Folding at Home and enter the team number here. We are also currently printing ear guards and face shields. So if you would like to donate to our GoFundMe, here's the link to donate any money. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Xcode VR, which is a virtual programming online resource where you can basically use block programming like Scratch, except you can program a virtual robot instead of just sprites. To get started, you can just click on this link here, and you don't need an account or any installations. It's an in-browser coding website. And there are many tutorials and activities that you can do on Vex VR, as well as a wide variety of playgrounds that you can drive your robot on. So I'll be demoing the Draw a House activity demo, where the challenge is to program your VR robot to draw a house on the art canvas using the art pen block. Each activity comes with a Google Doc that further explains instructions for the activities, as well as different levels of challenge. So as you can see, the robot is going to draw a house with the pen on this art canvas playground. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check the Xcode VR out. And also there's a first virtual showcase that's going to showcase all the highlights of the first events throughout the season and recognize all kinds of teams and volunteers across the world. There will also be an announcement of many awards and remarks from special guests. And you can watch it live on Saturday, May 2nd at 9 a.m. at twitch.tv/firstinspires at this link here. So if you want to go watch that, you can go check that out. And now we'll have our builder zone about the 8565 Skystone robot by Champers Fu.
Hi guys, I'm Champers, and I'll be doing Builder Zone for this session. So our robot this year consists of 5 main subsystems, and we assigned each builder one subsystem. So the subsystems are chassis, intake, vertical and horizontal extension, and the claw. So what the chassis is basically a frame for the robot. It holds the robot in one piece and allows it to drive on the field. So we used a mechanism wheel chassis this year so that we can easily strafe side to side, and it's a very quiet and smooth drive. And our intake is made of silicone wheels that are designed to easily capture a brick and draw it into the robot. So for our extension systems, we have linear and horizontal slides to extend the stone outside of the robot. So we have a claw inside that clamps down on the stone, and then the vertical slides raise it up, with the horizontal slides pushing it out to allow us to easily stack several skyscraper of several stones high. So this is our claw. We put flex tape and this little spongy material in between to allow it to easily grip the stones. And here's a video of one of our matches.
And the game to begin. 8565 already grabbing and moving it under the right bridge, already putting it on the foundation, but the blue
So this is the process that we use to design our robots. We start with an idea, and then most of the time we'll design our idea in CAD to see how things fit together. And then we'll physically build the specific idea that we're thinking of. And then we'll test and find the issues. This allows us to like develop multiple iterations super quickly so that we can get the best possible version of our robot. And now we're gonna do a demo. Just almost strong enough to pull it out. Yeah, so that's how our robot works. One good example of CAD being used to design our robot is the side claw right here. The entire side claw is 3D printed and was designed in CAD. Another cool thing we have are these tensioner springs on the vertical lift. This allows it to be nearly weightless to increase speed and help with motor overheating and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's it for Builder Zone.
Okay, now we're gonna have an intro to Fusion 360 by John.
Okay, so this is Fusion 360. It's a CAD software. So like in CAD, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like just an example. So like this is the house I CAD'd. It's a robot. This is like a tensioner thing, where like the screws can move the thing up and down. And this is another team's robot. They're an FRC team, and they have like more people. So yeah, that's why it's a lot more complicated. Okay, so to get Fusion 360, you go to this website called Autodesk. It links right here. You need to get the education license because that's free, and then you need an account to sign in. Here's a guide. Okay, so some resources. If you want to learn Fusion 360, this one is from Autodesk themselves. It's I don't have it open, but it's like very introductory. Teaches you like all the tools you can use, etc. These other ones are other YouTube channels. A lot of them also have tutorials, and then they also have some walkthroughs where you can like CAD along with them, and that's pretty good help. And then these ones are robotics specific. So this one right here, I really like this one. It's just like a presentation basically, and this one is a lot more complicated, and you might not be able to like use this one because it has a lot of like, it also like assumes you know a bit about robotics before you can like do it. But yeah, so Fusion 360. So this is the UI. There's all these tools up here. They all have like names, you can click the drop down menu and they have like a description, so you don't really need to memorize any of them. And then yeah, there's all these sections. There's also like different sections of the design space, and they're kind of useful, but I don't really use them that much. And then if you press S, it has shortcuts, which is really useful. And you can like type in whatever you want, and you can also move it here or take it off. So Fusion 360 is a parametric design thing. So basically what that means is like everything's based on parameters and values. So I could press L to get a line here and say I'm sketching like staircase. Oops. So here I could make all these equal, and make this equal to that, make this equal, these two equal, and these two equal. And then I would like dimension this, say maybe it's like 1 inch. And I would dimension this, oh, wait. So I'd hold down here, and I can choose, oh, I don't have a line there, okay. So I can also dimension this to be 1 inch. And then I can like extrude this and make it 3D, say like 1 inch too. And because parametric, I can go back into the timeline right down here where it tells me everything in order, and I have this sketch, I can edit it. Oh. Click the wrong button. But I can edit it, I can go say this is 1/2 inch, and then it would automatically update everything. So yeah, that also brings in the timeline, which is like the order in which everything is done in. So yeah, the timeline is useful because like if I wanted to like make this a rounded corner, then I can, oh, this is linked, but basically again, I'll hide that, and I can make this a rounded corner with the fillet tool, which I got from pressing F, which is one of the shortcuts or one of the key bindings that are like on for default. And then it has this rounded edge, but I can still update it, or I can say this is like 2 inches, and still have that rounded edge, even though there's no way for it to reference, because there's like, if I did it beforehand, if I did the fillet first, then it wouldn't be able to understand how this edge maps to that edge. That's really helpful. And then one of the things that's kind of hard to get used to with Fusion 360, or something at least I had like a while to get used to, is how the move tool works. I just deleted that in the timeline. I'll just create a very basic the box thing. I'm gonna just do it on the origin. Say like I have a box here. Okay, that's linked by a sketch, but let's say like I insert this into the current design. And how that works, it says linked there, so you can't edit this unless you break the link. But basically, it's not like jointed to anything, so it can be anywhere it wants. And like if you want it to be like above this thing, then it isn't actually there. Like if I wanted to say extrude this, oh wait. So whenever I make a joint between something, it'll ask me this, continue or capture position. So basically, this is actually where it started. When you put over here, it's just a visual thing. And once you press capture position, everything is saved. So this is actually right there. And then another thing is the bodies and components. This is something I think specific to Fusion 360, but everything is a body because that's like just a shape. And the component is like a container for the body. And it's much more useful than a body because the containers have their own origins and stuff. And it makes it a lot easier to position objects. Okay. So what can you make in CAD? So basically, like you can watch a YouTube guide if you want to learn more about CAD. And then a good practice is to pick any object in your house and CAD it. I just picked this pliers and did this. I omitted the handles because those are kind of rounded. So you can also CAD a robot, which is the Rev Minibot, which is linked to here. It has a guide for how to assemble it, like here. And then if you want to find the parts, they have it all here. So this is the part number. You can go. So here, this link goes to here. Well, it goes to here, and you can just search the product name here, and it comes up at the first one. And then you download the CAD file, and then you can import it into Fusion 360 through the upload tool. Yep. So some of my favorite tips, I think these you might not find it in tutorials, but so the move point-to-point tool is really helpful if you're trying to do things quickly. I can just like move this component, say point to point. I would say like this point to this point. And then actually no, I'd rotate it first. And then if I wanted to like align, I could do move from this point to like this circle. And then they're automatically aligned. And it's pretty quick. And then you capture position to save that position, so you don't get reverted anytime. Next, a great thing that I found is to keep a ruler with you when you're CADing, because that way you can keep sense of scale. And then yeah, so then do position the origins to keep like the axe to like. We want to position the origins like strategically, so like because it's a really great resource, or because like you can use this plane to align to like this plane or something if it wasn't rotated, and that's really helpful for alignment and it saves some time. Okay.
Okay, now we'll be moving on to robocode with Byron.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous Builder Zone and CAD topics. Now we'll be moving on to Robocode. Real quick, I prepared a doc that shows the bracket we'll be having for the tournament. That's gonna include everybody who submitted their robots over the forums from last week. If you missed that or you didn't figure out how to submit things over the forum, I'll be going over that this meeting so we can get as many people participating as possible. But this is the docs link. If you click on it, it'll tell you the tournament schedule and which robots we'll be working with today. Also, a quick note before we begin, I'm going to be speeding through this because we don't have a lot of time if we're going to get to the tournament. So I apologize if I don't have time to answer your question. It's not your fault. I'm just going as fast as I can. All right. With that in mind, let's start off our lesson for today. So Eclipse. Last time I didn't get to go over Eclipse, but again, we highly recommend it. It's a lot easier to code with Eclipse than with the default robocode editor. And I'm going to show you real quick how to set up Eclipse to work with robocode because I didn't get to do it last session. So let me just open up my Eclipse real quick. Okay, so I'm already in my robocode project, but I'm gonna make a new one just to show you guys. So what you're gonna want to do once you open up Eclipse is you want to create a new project, a new Java project. Okay, and you can name it whatever you want, but make sure that it's memorable. So I'm just gonna call it robocode robots. And then this is really important. You can't click finish right away. You have to go to next and then find libraries. You need to press on add external jars and then you want to go to this PC, you want to go to your local disk, or if you're not in Windows, wherever your robocode folder is on your file system, you want to go to your robocode folder, open up the folder called libs, and then you want to find the robocode jar file, and then open that up. And then after that, you want to open up your new robocode.jar, find the option that says Java doc location, edit it, and then you can browse again to your robocode folder and find the folder that says Java doc, and then you can just select it. All right, it's super easy. Once you finish that, you can start in robocode robots. You can right click your new project and create a new class. Call it whatever you want. Package. Again, we recommend that your package name be your initials, just like the original robocode that we went over. And you want to change the superclass file to robocode.robot. And just name it whatever you want. New. And then you can just finish. After that, it's basically the same as getting it to work with robocode. If you guys have any problems, I'll go over them in the Q&A after 8, but we need to be moving along because, again, we don't have a lot of time if we want to go to the tournament. All right, so the robot console. So today we'll be going over events and the robot console. So to work with events and to do a lot of stuff with robocode, it's really helpful to make sure that what you want to trigger is triggering. And we can do this by writing out stuff to the robot console. So first, I'm going to show you guys how to open it real quick. You're going to go to robocode, start a new battle. You can add in any robot. And then over on the right side, you'll see 2 boxes with your robot's names. You want to click on them, and this will display the console for that robot. So right now there's nothing on it. There might be a few system messages when the robot dies or the robot wins, but we can change that with our own code. So I'm gonna stop this I'm gonna stop the battle, and then we're gonna add something in to our robot that's gonna make it right. We're gonna add something into the robot that's gonna make it right to the console. So I'm just gonna be opening up the source editor. You can do this in Java if you want. Uh, but if you want to follow along, just stay in the source editor. We promise. We'll show you how to use Java, and if you have any problems, you can ask in the Q&A after 8. So I'm just gonna open up the source editor. I'm gonna open up my robot. It's gonna be in here under my name BL. Just open this. And then here, how you're gonna run the console is you're gonna use the command out.println. Okay, again that's out.println. And then after that, you wanna put in parentheses and put in what you want to write after these parentheses. So and remember in Java, if you want to write something, if you want to write characters and have them show up just as you've written them, you need to use quotation marks to make it into something called a string. If you want to know more about Java types and classes, you can search it up. I added some useful links to learn Java, but we're not going to be going over the basics of Java in this class. So if you want to learn, by all means, we encourage you to go on the internet and learn some more about Java. But for now, we just need to remember that you need to enclose whatever you want to write inside these quotation marks. So I'm just going to write something like, I moved ahead and then back. Close it up and then put a semicolon in. And then we're going to save it. So you can either Control S or save. And then I'm going to compile it. So Control B or go to compiler and press compile. So now I'm going to compile my robot. You can see it compiled successfully. And then we can go to the main robocode screen. Do the exact same thing. You can see these are the two of the robots we just edited. We can start the battle. And then when we open up the console, we can see our console message right here. I moved ahead and then back. It's going to trigger every time our robot gets to that point in the code, which here is after our robot moves ahead and back. Okay? All right. So now we're going to go over events in robocode. Events and your robot's response to them are what make your robot smart and responsive. If you want to make your robot dodge bullets or fire at enemy robots, you need to put it in event handlers. So let's go over an event handler in detail. The one you can see on the slides is the exact same as one you're going to see in actual code. So I'm going to open that up right now. Again, we're just going to be opening the same robot. This is the copy of my first robot we were working with last session. And then over here, you can see that the default my first robot already had some event handlers. So let's go over this real quick. Public void, you don't need to worry about this part. On-scan robot, this is the name of the event. Default events in robocode are pretty intuitive. On-scan robot will trigger when you scan a robot. So whenever that happens, the thing inside this method is going to fire. So whenever this robot scans a robot, it's going to fire a bullet with power 1. And then another thing that's super important is this object that was passed, scan robot event E. So this basically contains all the information, all the additional information about the event. And we're going to show you how to use that E value a bit later. But for now, what we're going to do is add a console message to here. So again, we're going to out.println quotation marks, I scanned a robot. So this is really important because if it might seem pretty trivial now, like if your robot scanned a robot, but later on when you want to be sure, absolutely sure that your robot is responding to every event, it's really useful to have these console messages. So again, I'm gonna Control S, I'm gonna Control B, compile successfully, and then we're gonna run it. Yes. And then again, we're gonna click on the box to the side to open up the console, and you can see here, whenever our robot scans a robot, it's just gonna type "I scanned a robot" in this console. Okay. All right. We're gonna take a quick break for questions, but I don't want to spend too long on it. Questions. Okay. It looks like there's no questions. Everyone seems to be copy paste. Oh, you don't actually have to copy paste the things in chat. That was just for us to worry about. If you just look on the link we sent for the Robocode tournament schedule, that's fine. You don't need to paste anything in chat. I'm sorry about the confusion. All right, but we're gonna move on. Let's start with finding new events and objects. Okay. Oh, sorry. My bad. We're gonna be going over the event object first. So that's the E we were talking about earlier. So the event object that gets passed into the robot has a lot of details, including the robot's name and energy. Let's use that info. Okay. So you can see here this stuff, and then let's open up our robot again. Let's open up our robot again. All right. And then on this on-scan robot, again, we want to do out.print ln quotation marks I scanned a robot. And then here, you're gonna add a plus sign. Okay, in Java, plus signs mean they're used for string concatenation. Basically, what that means is you add two strings or two lines of text together. So here, we're gonna add in e dot name. Right? Yeah. And then we're gonna close it up. You may notice that this doesn't have quotation marks in it. That's because this is a variable, and variables don't need quotation marks. So for example, if I were to have something like string x equals hello, I wouldn't put plus quotation mark x in here because that would just print out the letter x. Instead, I would just put plus x. That way, it's gonna print out what's in the quotation marks. It's gonna print out hello. Okay. Again, if you want to know more about Java, you can feel free to ask me after class, or you can just search it up online. It's a lot to learn. Okay. But anyways, I'm gonna save it, and I'm going to compile it. Scan a robot. Field name, scan robot name. It's not visible. Huh. Interesting.
Byron, the API should be get name.
Oh, get name? Really? Like this, Coach Yu?
Uppercase N. Sorry. Yeah. It's a function.
Huh. That's interesting. When I looked into the documentation, okay. Yeah. So as Coach Gu said, if you want to get the name of the robot, you have to use your event and then dot get name. So if we test this out, we can see that if we start the same battle again, and if we look here, you can see I scanned a robot, and then it's gonna put the name of my robot, the name of the robot it scanned. Since both of the robots are called my second robot, they're just gonna show my second robot. And another field you can get with your event is energy. So you can press E dot get energy. Is that correct?
Nice try. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now if we try it again, we can check the energy of each of these robots. let's remove this and add in a sample robot. Whatever. Okay. So again, if we create the same battle between the two millisecond robots, then once you click on one of them and view the robots, it's gonna show you the energy of the robot. Okay. And this is gonna be really important later on because you can use the energy to tell when any robot has fired a bullet. And since you can't actually detect bullets, that's gonna be the only way you're gonna be able to dodge bullets. So that's super important because showing robots energy allows you to track when these robots fire bullets. That's gonna allow you to dodge bullets better and make a stronger robot. All right. One last thing about events before we go to the thing we all been waiting for, the battle. We're gonna be going over how to find new events and objects, cause uh, there's a lot of other events other than just the scan robot event and just the name, the get name and get energy. So what we want to do is go to the link here. This takes you to the official robocode documentation. What you can also do is search up robocode events in Google, and this should be the first or near the first result that pops up. So here, if you look at the documentation page, we can see all the events in robocode. So up here, under direct known subclasses, we can see all the default events that robocode comes with. And all of them are pretty intuitive. If you look at the names, you'll know what they're about. Battle ended event, when the battle ends. Bullet missed event is if your bullet hit a wall and didn't hit any robot. If you look at the name of the robot, you'll probably see what it's about. And then, but if you click on a specific event, so for example, let's go to the scan robot event that we've been working with. Sorry. I'm sorry. If you go to the scan robot event, then you can see, once you scroll down, all the different methods this event comes with. For example, you can see here the get energy we were just working with, but you can also see get distance, so you know what's the different distance between your robot and the robot you just found. So this is all really useful, and if you want to know different things your robot can do, you can just go here, go to the documentation, find the event you want to know about, and then you can see all the methods that it contains and a brief summary of what they do. And if you want to know more, you can just click on it and it explains the details. Okay, so this is really important because we can't go over every single event and every single property of the event in class. If you want to really get better and really learn a lot about robocode, you're gonna have to look stuff up yourself. So, and the best way to find that information is gonna be in the documentation. All right. One last event exercise before we move on to the tournament. Actually, yeah, we don't have a lot of time. We want to spend some time in the tournament. So before we do that, I'm just gonna go over the homework real quick, and then we're gonna start the very first virtual robot tournament. Okay, so the challenge. We want you to first create 2 robots that stand absolutely still and do nothing. Name them friend and enemy. And then you want to create a robot and edit its on-scan robot event so that your robot only fires when the name of the robot is enemy. Remember, you can get the name of the robot with e dot get name. So you only want to fire if the scan robot's name is enemy. And then to test it, you can obviously run a battle with 3 robots. Your robot should only kill the robot that's name is enemy. And then I had a little fun with the hints. There are white text on white background, so if you need help, highlight the hint you want, and it'll show up. If you don't want it, if you don't need a hint, then you can just ignore this part. All right. So now we're getting to the part that everybody's been waiting for. The first virtual robot tournament. All right. So we're gonna be holding a 4-way free-for-all battle tournament. It's gonna be hosted on my computer. I already compiled all the robots you guys sent in the form. All the robots you guys sent in the form. So everybody that submitted a robot, your everything is good to go. If you didn't submit a robot, don't worry. After this, I'll be going over again how to submit the form in more detail so that you guys can participate in the next battle. Okay, so let's open up the tournament bracket. This is the same document that we sent at the very beginning. And then let's just get rolling. So we're gonna start round 1, match 1. So we're gonna create a new battle, and it's going to include Christina's robot. So we're gonna go to Division 1. Christina's robot, Mojo Jojo the Destroyer, CR7, and a dummy robot, which is gonna be a sitting duck. So we can go over here. That's not the sitting duck. And then just a few things. This is gonna be best of 1 just for time purposes. The finals are actually gonna be best of 3. So so you can have even more excitement. All right, and then we're gonna start round 1. So I'm gonna full screen, and all the robots are busy firing around. A lot of actions going on. Not a lot of bullets actually hitting other robots, but it's getting there. Looks like Sitting Duck has been destroyed. Sitting Duck was a dummy robot in Division 1. It just stands there and does nothing. In Division 2, for coders that have already coded with Java before, it's a little more challenging. They're my first robots that just move around and fire basic bullets. It's still not too hard. Still not too hard to deal with. But anyways, we can see that a lot of these robots' healths are getting low. Mojo Jojo the Destroyer is only on 7 health, 3. Oh, Mojo Jojo the Destroyer just got destroyed. Now we're only down to Christina's robot and CR7. And it looks like Christina's robot is really low and it's disabled. Okay, and then after the battle ends, you can see the results screen that pops up. And this is how we're gonna be determining the top 2 that are gonna move on to finals. All right, so here you can see the scores. Rank 1 and rank 2 were CR7 and Christina. So these are going to be the robots that are moving on to the final round for Division 1. Okay, so let's move on to the Division 1 match 2. It's going to be my robot A, robot 1, legend, and then another dummy. All right, so let's get this rolling. New Division robot. Legend, my robot, and then another dummy sitting duck. Make sure everything's okay. And let's start the second match. Okay. It definitely seems a lot less chaotic than the first battle. Not as many bullets flying everywhere, but these bullets look to be a lot more accurate. Of course, they're hitting mostly still targets. Obviously, Sitting Duck is getting a lot of the brunt of the assaults. Legend's taking a bit of damage. Robot 1 still also taking a lot of damage. And it looks like my robot A is already out of the battle. Sitting Duck has just been destroyed as well. Now it's just Robot 1 and Legend remaining. And it looks like Robot 1 definitely has the advantage. Okay. If the battle goes a bit longer, I have the speed slider down here. I'm just gonna turn up the game speed a little. So again, in the interest of time, we want to get through our matches. So I'm just gonna turn the game speed up to 50. Everything's gonna move a bit faster now. And Legend has been destroyed. And we can see here, top two are Robot 1 and Legend. Oh, that's interesting. Despite Robot 1 surviving the most time, Robot 1 and Legend actually were tied for the same amount of points. That's interesting. Looks like it's because Legend did a lot more damage, but because Legend landed a lot more shots on Sitting Duck and my robot. So, although they're tied, that doesn't really change anything. Both of them will still be moving on to the finals for Division 1. And then all right. So with our round 1 for Division 1 matches ending, we can go on to Division 2. These are going to be the coders that have already had prior experience with Java before. So this should be really interesting. And this time, dummies are my first robots, and not just weak Sitting Duck robots. So match 1 is going to be Everett's robot, the biggest boy, Kenan, and Kenan, which is Ethan's robot, the league champion. All right, let's get this started. So Division 2, it's gonna be Legend, Kenan, the biggest boy, and then one dummy. Again, dummies here are going to be my first robots. This one, perfect. Let's kick this off. Oh, and looks like there's a lot more bullets going on than before. A lot of things. Ooh, one robot goes down immediately. That's Everett Jin. And it definitely seems a lot more chaotic. I'm gonna turn the speed down to 30. We had it on 50 last time. My bad. But it definitely looks like these fights are ending a lot faster. And this time ends with the biggest boy clear on top. Clearly is the biggest boy, and Cannon coming in a pretty close second. So the biggest boy and Cannon are going to be moving on to the finals for Division 2. And next round, I'll make sure to slow it down so you guys can see more action, because I know that went by super fast. So let's take that down to 25. All right, but next, it's going to be Nathan's robot, Invincible, and Fog Dog, and then of course another dummy. One thing to note, we're using dummies because in Robocode, the amount of robots in a battle actually makes a huge difference. Like 2-on-2 battles are going to be completely different from 4-on-4 battles and 3-on-3 battles. So to keep it consistent, we're going to be trying to stick to 4-on-4 as much as possible, and we're going to be using dummies to fill it up when we can't get 4-on-4 naturally. So let's run round 2 of Division 2. It's going to be Fog Dog, Invincible, Nathan's robot, and one more dummy, my first robot. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Everything starts off immediately. It seems a bit less chaotic than the first match. Definitely still a lot of bullets flying around though. And it looks like not a lot of damage being done. Maybe that's just because we have a much slower speed than before. But my first robot only now gets taken out. Now it's a battle between Fog Dog and Invincible, and Nathan's robot is just casually standing by on the wall. Still has a lot of health. Fog Dog doesn't look like he'll be able to do it. And he was disabled. Meaning that the winners for round 2 were Nathan and Fog Dog. So these two robots will be advancing to finals. Good job. Good job, everybody. That was the prelims round. Now we can run the finals for Division 1 and Division 2. So, Division 1 finals are going to be Christina, CR7, Robot 1, and Legend. So let's get this show on the road. Crank it up to 30 for Division 1.
Wait, Byron, I think you only set it for 1 round.
Yeah, you're actually right, Alan. My bad. Yeah, so it's only 1 round right now. Or whoever said that. Whoever said that. You're right. I only said it for 1 round. So finals are gonna be best of 3. So yeah, thanks for catching that. It's gonna be best of 3. So let's actually get this started this time. All right. And the Division 1 finals are kicking off. Looks actually a lot more active than the previous Division 1 bets we have. CR7 has already been taken out. It looks like Christina's dodging actually a lot of bullets. Still remains at 30 health. Robot 1 is also doing pretty well. Legend just gets taken out. And it looks like it's a battle between Christina's robot and Robot 1. Ooh, Christina's robot just barely dodges the bullet. Robot 1 is going to be disabled soon, unless he gets hit. Actually, that goes to round 1, with Christina as the last one standing. And now we begin round 2. It's slower than before. A lot of bullets are still hitting their mark. Robot 1 actually doing really well, still at around 100 energy. Legend looks to be just spinning and firing, but he's doing pretty well. And Christina, the robot that won last time, is actually not doing very well. Still far behind Robot 1 in energy levels. Let's see if this round turns out to be any different. And Legend gets destroyed. Robot 1 takes the second round. Let's see who will come out on top in this final round. Oh, it's almost 8. Yeah, again, guys, if you guys really need to go, it's almost 8 already, so feel free to go if you want to. If you want to stay for just a little bit longer, we have Division 2 finals. And then we're just gonna give the winning robots coders a bit of time to talk about their own robot designs. So we'd appreciate it if you stuck around just a bit after 8. But if you want to go, you're free. All right, let's speed this up a little. The battles between CR7 and Christina, actually. CR7 seems to have a lot more energy than Christina. Christina's gonna become disabled soon, and CR7's gonna take it. All right, so let's look at the score summaries. On top is actually Christina's robot. Not very surprising there. She won 1 time, was second place the other 2 times. She's gonna be our Division 1 winner. So now, let's end this off with our Division 2 finals. So Division 2, finalists are gonna be Kenan, the biggest boy. Let's see, it should be Fogdog and Nathan's robot, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these were the finalists. Yeah, perfect. So without further ado, it's 3 rounds again. Invincible? Over who? I'm pretty sure these were correct. I'm so sorry if you actually made it to finals and didn't. We're gonna have a results tracker next time. A results tracker next time, so we can actually figure out who's gonna who made it into finals or not. But for now, it's just gonna be these four robots. All four of them did pretty well. So without further ado, let's start the finals for Division 2. Okay. A little more chaos going on. I'm gonna slow it down a bit so we can see Nathan Ma is getting eliminated pretty quickly actually. Fog Dog is just firing bullets everywhere. Quickly eliminates Kennen, and now it's just between the biggest boy and Fog Dog. Yeah, the colors. It looks like the biggest boy actually changed his colors, and in his code, you can do that with the robocode.colors thing. You can just search it up. And you can find instructions to change your robot colors. It's purely aesthetic, but it's pretty fun. And the biggest boy definitely makes a big impact. After having won round 1, it looks like a different robot won round 2, and we're now on to the final round. It's between Kennen and the biggest boy. And it looks like the biggest boy is going to take it. Let's see the round summary. The biggest boy is in clear first place, Kennen second, Nathan Ma, and Fog Dog in last place. So the biggest boy is going to take the Division 2 winning. All right, so good job, everybody. That was a really good first tournament. Everyone did really well, and for only 1 week, I really like all your robots. I think they were really amazing. All right, so let's have a quick chat. Our top 2 are winners for each division. Can you guys please unmute yourselves and talk a little about how you coded your robots, starting with Christina's robot from Division 1.
I didn't really try to do anything special. I kind of just typed some random things.
But your robot, yeah, I mean, that's certainly a method for coding. Your robot did actually do really well. It got 300 points over everybody else in the Division 1 finals. So
Okay.
it looks like these random things worked out. And can we also have Isaac, the coder of the biggest boy, talk about how he managed to get the win in Division 2?
I basically just just took the logic from walls. It's unpredictable. Like if you shoot at it, walls is already moved, so it's harder to hit. And then I searched online for like better robots, and then I found a robot which had very good aiming in like shooting. So then I took the aiming logic of that and just added it into my code.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, and that's a really good way to build better robots, is to both take from the sample robots and their designs and look online for even better robots. So good job, Isaac. Amazing robot you had. And then just a few things to wrap up. Again, it's past 8. You can leave anytime now. But I'm just going to be going over real quick the form submissions. There's a bit of confusion over that. And then I'm going to have Q&A for about 15 minutes. So again, good job, everybody in the tournament. You guys did really well. All right. So let's go over the submission form. Also, we will be uploading the results of this tournament to the results doc, so you guys can see the winners and losers of all the tournaments we've had so far. All right, but let's go over the robocode form real quick. Resume collecting responses. Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna open it up again. So you guys can start submitting robots again over the week. I'd like to caution you guys really quick on submitting things. I know actually Isaac, the coder of the biggest boy, submitted his like right away. on Monday, and then he had to email me like twice to change his robot to his latest version. So it's perfectly alright to do that, but we want to try to get you guys to make sure to send your robots in as late as possible, so you know that it's the latest version of the robot and that you've made all the changes you want to. Okay, so again, the link to this form is going to be on here. Some people were confused about how to submit a file, so I'm just going to show you real quick. So if I open up a new incognito window and paste this form in, I'm going to use another account. Hopefully this isn't the account I use to create the form. No. And I'm gonna, yeah, perfect. So I'm filling out this form right now. I've coded with Java before. And then here, when you want to add a file, all you have to do is go to select files from your device and navigate to your robocode folder. That's gonna be in your C drive for Windows. If you're not in Windows, it should have told you where it is and install. If it doesn't, if you have any problems, just ask me in Q&A or email me, and I'll help you get it settled. But you can look in robocode, search in robots, find a robot. It should be a Java file. So check the type, and then just press open, and it's gonna upload it. You can upload it to the form and then submit it. Okay. And one last thing, we want to make sure that the name of the robot is the same as the name of your file, because there's some people that had a different name for it than that was on the file, and you want to be putting the actual name of the robot, your file name, because that's the name that's going to be showing up under your robot when you do a battle. So you want to have it as accurate as possible. Other than that, yeah, good job, guys. Oh, and I'd like to one more thing. You guys need to make sure to compile it and make sure that it compiles successfully. I only had one problem this time, but one of the robots in Division 2 actually had compiler errors. They were pretty easy to fix. It was like a bracket missing or something. So I fixed it for them this time. I think it was Nathan's robot. It might have been Nathan's robot. But yeah, they had a compiler error and I had to fix it before compiling it. So make sure next time to compile it first. Make sure that your robocode says that it's compiled successfully so that no problems occur. And yeah, that's all I really have. You can start prepping for the next battle. Hopefully next battle will be even better with even better robots. With that, I guess it's time for Q&A. Anyone has any questions, just ask them in Zoom chat. I'll be sure to help you. You can share your screen, and yeah. Okay. Aaron asked, how does the biggest boy increase its scan size? Okay. Let's see here. If Isaac is still here, he can answer. If not, I can take a look at the code and show you guys. First, you have to decouple the link before. All right. I'm gonna open up the robot. I know Coach Gu is explaining it in chat. I'm gonna open up Isaac's robot and try to find his scanning function. All right. So let's open up file. Division 2 should be the biggest boy. Perfect. Set scan color. Here's the colors. He set his colors to red and blue and green. Yeah. So if you wanna colorize your robot, this is how you do it. Set adjust gun for robot turn. Okay.
Yeah, that is a line.
Yeah, this is important. Adjust radar for gun turn. This part is important. Normally, when you normally when you turn your gun, your radar turns with you. If you don't set that to true, then it won't turn with you. So you can set it to scan independently.
Byron, we didn't see the code. Are you sharing the
Oh
screen?
yeah, do you not see the code? I'm sorry. So share. So if you look right here, these lines, set adjust for radar for gun turn, and set adjust gun for robot turn. So this makes it so that when you turn your robot, your gun turns with you. This makes it so that when you turn your gun, your radar turns with you. You can see that Isaac commented this part out. So he makes his radar turn independently.
Line 55.
Line 55. Turn radar. Okay, and then here, this is the part. This is the part where he has his he makes his robot lock on to a robot he scanned, and that makes it so that his radar continues to stay on that robot. I know you guys were asking about how he got a bigger cone. Coach Gu, do you know where that part is?
Yeah, that is a line. That actually works with two lines. First, in the while loop, in the main loop, he got radar to like rotate like crazy by defining like positive infinity.
Oh.
That's for ensure he got observations on all the targets, and then specifically on the unscan, he locked the radar again. That's gonna ensure a better version. It's like a trick.
Yeah.
And it's
so. Yeah. So that's a combination. So if you're talking about Isaac's radar, it's gonna be a combination of the three factors we just went over. It's gonna be he commented out this line, so his radar turns independently. He turns his robot by a really large amount, so it goes fast, and then once he scans the robot, he uses his ease to find the distance he needs to turn his radar so that his radar continues to scan this robot, and then he can lock onto a specific robot and start firing at it. Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'm open to any more questions. If you guys have if you guys need any help with install Java, your code not compiling or anything, make sure to make sure to just email me. Will we have other tournaments later? Yeah, every week from now, we're gonna take the robots that you guys sent in the form. So make sure to go to those forms. They're gonna be in the slides we saw after this, and we're gonna take all your robots and we're going to put them all together and have a tournament. Yeah, you submit another robot. Yeah, I sent my email in the chat. If anyone still needs it, you can just email me here. I'm open to some more questions. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's any more questions, so I guess we can end the meeting here.
Yeah, we'll just end the meeting now. Thank you for coming,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody. We'll be
Yeah, see
sending
you
out an
next week.
email with the slides that we went over and some more information soon. See you next week. Yeah, our next tournament is next week. We're gonna have one every session from now. So look forward to that. Yeah.